Your Excellency, Mr. Johan Verboom, the Dutch ambassador. I also say dober večer naši veleposlanici in posebni odposlanki za vodno diplomacijo pri našem zunanjem ministrstvu, gospe Tanji Miškovi. Med nami pozdravljam tudi predstavnike francoskega inštituta v Sloveniji in italijanskega inštituta v Sloveniji, ki so prijazno prav tako kot oba ambasadorja podprli našo razstavo. Pozdravljam pa seveda tudi Stefana Carinija. Buonasera, Stefano. Ki je seveda sokurator te razstave, ki jo nocoj odpiramo. I will exchange between English and Slovenian. We will speak internationally today because water, of course, is universal topic. It is a universal language almost, as photography is. NOOR Images is an international photographic agency shown in our gallery in perhaps a little bit different way, in a way with the method which we want to move a little bit the patterns or the practices we are used of setting the exhibitions up. We established this cooperation with NOOR Images through Stefano, our dear friend of this gallery, I can say, and my colleague in this project, thinking of how to speak about incredibly important topic as water is, through photographs in a sustainable way, where we can use what we already have, what we have in our storage from 15 years of exhibitions, which were perfectly set up, and now we can allow ourselves an imperfect perfection. Stefano, not to be too long, I would like to give you a short word about what the exhibition is and what NOOR Images is, and to thank you, of course, already at this place for your cooperation, and to all the photographers of NOOR Images, which are not here today, but were really open, and I'm really grateful for their openness and cooperation to share the images we see hanging on these walls, and will hopefully also join us later on.
Thank you very much, Maria, and thank you all for being here tonight. I don't hide some nervousness. It was an idea that came about some time ago, but not long. And the idea was to address, to talk about the most important resource we have on Earth, and sometimes we overlook it, which is water, which we don't really know how it generated, where it comes from. Some say that it came from an asteroid, some say that it comes from Earth itself, but it holds the key for life. Life would not be possible without water. And so we wanted to talk about it, and to talk about more than water is about our relationship with water. So when addressing such a topic and such an important resource, obviously the way that we felt and that Maria and I talked a lot about was how are we going to do it? Are we going to produce a new exhibition? Which also means to produce new waste, quite a lot of it. So NOOR Images is a foundation and an agency that has been active for 15 years. Many exhibitions have been produced over the years. Hundreds of thousands of images have been made. And so we felt that the right way to do this at a time where everybody is speaking about sustainability was to stop speaking about sustainability and try and do it, try and make it. Now this was not an easy process because obviously a lot of people want their work to be produced anew and perfectly, as Maria said, with new frames and new prints and all of that. But the reality is that there are several objectives part of this exhibition. So an exhibition is, for me personally, just a space. It's a space and a time that is created to address and therefore discuss important issues or subjects And we could do this by only searching through our archive, going to the storage and see what was produced over the years that would allow us to create a connection with water. So here is the exhibition a few months later, not long at all. It took some time to go through the storages in Amsterdam and in Rome of the photographers of NOOR and select work that would allow us to speak about water in a broad way. So not only with water in the images, but obviously with stories. Each of these images are part of stories. And so we came up with, we gathered quite a lot of material, and then we had to organize it for the exhibition that you are here experiencing tonight. So everything that you see here is either reused, repurposed, and with everything I really mean everything. The words of the titles coming from previous exhibitions of Jakopič Gallery, the D-bonds or frames on the wall, the prints, 80% of them are coming from previous exhibitions. You can call them reused, recycled, repurposed, it doesn't really matter. They are recontextualized, in fact. So they hold a new meaning here. And it's divided into chapters because water is ubiquitous, is ever present. It's in your body, 60% of your body is made of water, and it's reacting to my voice at this very moment, which is why we also have sound, interpretation of our relationship with water through hearing, through the sound, made by two different artists. And so we divided it in chapters to create a route, a path, a way to look at these images. And some of these chapters are challenging because they seem to have little to do with water. For example, conflict. So we had to do, there are different layers of research. How do we bring in images of conflict that do not have water in the images and seem to have nothing to do with images is by simply asking a very, very basic question. Why do conflict exist? And we are sold the story, like for example nowadays with the war in Ukraine, that is an ethnic or a political conflict or religious conflicts, such as the ones in Darfur, in Syria. The reality is that conflicts are hardly ever about anything else than economy. The possibility to grab land or access to water. So the 8 chapters that we have found while doing the research on the images allowed us to create a way to look at the work. I don't have much else to say. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I don't think it's needed. So I would give the word to somebody else and maybe come up with something else to say. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Stefano, for being such a great collaborator in this project as well. Thanks to many people who helped us, who basically spent last weeks in this gallery and produce everything you see. Gospa veleposlanica in posebna odposlanka za vodno diplomacijo pri zunanjem ministrstvu, gospa Tanja Miškova, je zagotovo oseba, ki vodo komunicira vsak sleherni dan pri svojem delu. Prosim vas za par besed in kako vidite povezave med nami.
Good večer, Ambassador Verboom, Stefano, Maria. When Maria and Ambassador approached me a couple of weeks ago about this exhibition, I must say I was very enthusiastic about it because it combines 2 topics that I deal with daily, which is water and circular economy. So the concept, the way the exhibition is done is a perfect example of the circular economy principles and how art can work along these principles. And water is, of course, the major part of what I'm doing. I'll switch this again. Tu sem predvsem iz 2 razlogov. Eno je seveda, da gre za sodelovanje med Nizozemsko in Slovensko kulturno ustanovo in Ministrstvo za zunanje zadeve. To vrsto sodelovanje seveda vedno podpira. Drug zame še pomembnejši razlog je vsebina te razstave, voda. Mogoče se sprašujete, zakaj se na zunanjem ministrstvu ukvarjamo z vodo, zakaj potrebujemo posebno odposlanko za vodno diplomacijo. Voda je nekaj, diplomati se radi pogovarjamo o številnih izzivih tega sveta in ugotavljamo, da se pa o vodi dejansko premalo pogovarjamo. Podobna razstava, kot je ta danes, bo od 22. do 24. marca v New Yorku v prostorih Združenih narodov. V času, ko bo tam potekala konferenca Združenih narodov o vodi. Konferenci so predsedujeta Nizozemska in Tadžikistan. To je šele druga konferenca posvečena, na kateri se bomo pogovarjali samo o vodi v zgodovini Združenih narodov. Prva in edina doslej je bila daljnega leta 1977. Izzivi, povezani z vodo, in mnoge boste videli predstavljene na današnji razstavi, ti izzivi so preštevilni in tako obsegajoči, da se moramo o vodi veliko več pogovarjati in ne samo pogovarjati. Zato smo se na zunanjem ministrstvu z roko v roki z Ministrstvom za naravne vire in prostor v zadnjih 2 letih močno angažirali v pripravah na to konferenco o vodi, zato da ta konferenca ne bi bila samo še en pogovorni šov, ampak da bi postregla s konkretnimi zavezami. Zavezami, ki bi prinesle, bom rekla, pospešitev, prenos v neko višjo predstavo, zato da bomo lahko dosegli razmere, v katerih bo dovolj vode na tem svetu za vse. In ne bo treba zaradi razkoraka, naraščajočega razkoraka med razpoložljivimi vodnimi viri in potrebami po vodi, mogoče v prihodnosti govoriti samo še o vodnih konfliktih. Tako da s tem bi zaključila. Hvala lepa za pozornost in uživajte v tej čudoviti predstavi.
Hvala, gospa ambasadorka. Thinking about water in Europe, we probably think about 2 countries, Slovenia and Netherlands, for sure. This is why we found a common language with Mr. Ambassador of the Kingdom of Netherlands, Mr. Johan Verboom. And what Mrs. Miškova was speaking about, the conference, we hope to hear about that conference also in our gallery and to organize the event which will give us the insights of what diplomats have found out and also invite artists and scientists to speak about it. Mr. Ambassador, I would like you kindly to open this exhibition with a few words about water problem.
Hvala lepa. Sem Johan Verboom, nizozemski veleposlanik, and I agree with every word Ambassador Miškova has said. It's a beautiful language, Slovenian, but also a bit challenging. So that's why I continue in English. But it's great to be here. When I just entered this evening, I was reading the text there with explanation about ripples and about the combination of the Netherlands and Slovenia, what we have in common with regard to water. And so that's why it's so nice to have this exposition here now. And as you know, indeed, the Dutch, they have water in their genes, I could say. Because, as you may know, 1/3 of the surface of the Netherlands is under the surface of the seawater. And it's only last week that we remembered that it was 70 years ago that a big part of the Netherlands was flooded. And it resulted in hundreds of people who drowned. And this was in 1953. And still that year, every Dutchman knows about this event. And after that, we started the huge delta works, dikes and movable structures to protect the land from the water. And these structures, you can visit them in the Netherlands. They are huge and very impressive. And I encourage you to go to the Netherlands and to visit them, because it's really worthwhile. And now we have climate change. And we now also know in the Netherlands what it means to have a drought, with huge problems for the food sector, for agriculture, for water supply, for drinking water. So the same as here, I would say. You also have had your portion in the last years. And well, as Stefano was explaining, worldwide the problems are growing with water. And that's why the Netherlands has taken the initiative together with Tajikistan, as was explained already, to organize for the first time since 50 years an international United Nations water conference next month. And I don't know if you mentioned that, Ambassador, but Slovenia is playing a very important role in that event next month, because your President P.H. Musar, will do the opening statement in that conference. So that is, and will be present there with a big, high-level delegation. So I think it's very important that all of us, that we become more aware of the problems we have, the challenges, and that we work on solutions. And that's why I'm so happy that you are organizing this photo exhibition in the run-up, that's how I see it, to the water conference, because it will help us all to focus on the problems we have at hand. So I want to congratulate you for doing that and for this nice exhibition. I had a small preview and it's really very impressive, all the photos. And I would like to thank you very much for involving the Dutch Embassy. Thank you so much.
And you don't know this, but and it's very interesting because last week we received an email. And so in New York, at the conference, there's going to be an exhibition. And NOOR Images is providing all the images, well, 90% of the images of the exhibitions, which basically come from the Ripple's set. So it was quite, I didn't expect it, but I don't know if you will be in New York.
I mentioned it, but I didn't know it was yours.
I read the email, I was like, okay, can we provide images of water? I was like, yeah, I think we can. I think we have about a few thousand that we and mainly from Kadir van der Heijzen, Dutch photographer. So it's a very nice coincidence, but I wanted to share it and enjoy the exhibition.
Thank you very much to all my guests and to all of you, and I would just like to finish with an invitation. This exhibition, the project actually, for next almost 4 months is open to everyone who wants to share their views, their experience, their work on water. We will develop the program. Please constantly follow us on our social media, because we didn't invest into printing a new invitation, we upcycled them. You also have here a lot of beautiful upcycled products which are done proudly from our previous panels and flags and materials which were found in our storage. And of course the skilled hands of Maya gave them new life. So it is an invitation. Anything we did, it is maybe imperfect. Come tell us how you would do it. Do it differently, do it better, rewrite our poetry about water, or have better suggestions and bring them here. It is open. Thank you very much and enjoy it.